Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am here for April releases. Can you believe that it is already April? I feel like we just hit the new year and now I'm already on to month 4 for releases. So April we're calming down a little bit. March was pretty intense with the releases, if y'all know what I'm talking about. There were many a book that came out. So April's a little bit calmer. There's still 5 solid books that I am ridiculously excited about coming out, but it's okay, it's calmer this month. There's not as many being delivered to my house. You're welcome, mailman. As always, I would like to talk about the big sequels and the big names that are coming out first, and then get into more detail about my 5 most anticipated releases in the month of April. So the first sequel that's coming out is Defy the Worlds by Claudia Gray. This is the sequel to Defy the Stars in the, Constellation series, I think this is called. Sci-fi goodness by Claudia Gray. This comes out on April 3rd, so very soon. The next sequel is The Fates Divide by Veronica Roth. This is a sequel to Carve the Mark, and I'm very interested to see how people take this book. Because of all the controversy that surrounded Carve the Mark, it's since died down, so I'm kind of curious to see who will be reading the sequel and who completely abandoned it after the first book came out, but this is coming out on April 10th. The last sequel I want to talk about is Winter Glass by Alexa Hillier. This is, I think, a sequel to Spindlefire. I don't know if it's a direct sequel or if it's going to be like a series of companion novels. I haven't read it. I couldn't tell you, but this also comes out on April 10th. Getting into my 5 most anticipated releases for the month of April, as I was going through the descriptions of these are 5 really dark books. I don't know if it's just my personal taste, maybe I'm just a really dark individual, that's entirely plausible, but these 5 books are also kind of at the top of most people's lists, so I'm not alone in this, but they're all pretty heavy in completely different ways. But just a forewarning, I don't have many fluffy books that I'm looking forward to in the month of April. I guess maybe I'll get all my fluff from like Spring Flowers? I don't really know, but let's get into them. The first book that I want to talk about is Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. This comes out on April 24th, and this is a Viking story, and I'm ready for it. Vikings are just brutal, and I'm so interested to see how it's going to be handled in the YA world, but I'm ready for this story. So our main character has spent her entire life fighting with a rival clan. During one epic battle, she sees her brother who she saw die 5 years ago. Apparently not, because she sees him fighting on the rival side. So obviously we're gonna have some family drama up in this clan. So it seems like she kind of goes into this rival clan's village to like find out what happened to her brother, and while she's there, she meets a handsome dude, because you gotta meet handsome dudes in Viking clans, am I right? But while she is in this rival clan's village or community, they get ambushed by a clan that was legend. Like, she didn't think that they existed. They come out of nowhere and they wreak havoc. It's up to her and her brother and this potential love interest to kind of bring both of the rival clans together to fight this legendary clan. Basically, it sounds amazing. It sounds brutal and bloody and gory, and I am ready for it. With my lovely little tulips and daffodils, I'm gonna be reading about some Viking carnage, and I'm ready. The next book that I want to talk about is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. This comes out on April 10th, and I'm gonna be honest, this didn't really, like, strike me as a book that I would be interested in. It's not really my type of story, but the amount of hype and the reviews and the synopsis, I'm getting more and more pumped for this book. So this is following a girl who goes to a finishing school, is living her proper ladylike life when her mother goes missing. So she must leave her little sheltered private school life to go find her mother in the City of Sin. Her only lead is the name of a man who is a street lord and a con artist. So we're gonna take pretty little fancy lady and just throw her into the City of Sin full force. It sounds awesome. I'm so excited to read this. I'm pretty sure it's coming in one of my subscription boxes at some point this month, so I'll be getting my hands on this very soon. The next book that I'm really excited was one of the very first books that I pre-ordered this year because A, the cover, and B, it sounds amazing, but that is Ashe Princess by Laura Sebastian. This comes out on April 24th, and I can't wait. In this book, we are following Theodosia, or Theodosia, I'm not sure how to say it yet. When she was 6 years old, her country was invaded, and her mother, who is the Queen of Flame and Fire, was murdered in front of her. So this story is taking place 10 years later, after 10 years of abuse and neglect and horrible treatment by the new Kaiser. Theodosia has kind of put on an act of being really naive and dumb and just kind of accepting the abuse that was thrown at her, all the while trying to formulate a plot of revenge of getting the prince, the Kaiser's son, to fall in love with her and then murder him. which it kind of backfires because I think she starts to fall for him, but it seems like she's going to join with him and a group of rebels to take down this really awful ruler, and it just sounds like the perfect fantasy book. I'm so excited for it. Can't handle the cover, it's so pretty, and I'm so ready for this book. The next book that I am really excited about is Beyond a Darkened Shore by Jessica Leek. This comes out on April 10th, and again, I'm so ready for a really dark story. We're covering all different cultures here, so this kind of sounds like a historical, fantastical Ireland type of land. That's what I'm gathering from it. But we are following Sierra. She is a princess in a kingdom that has always known war and turmoil. She has never known a time of peace between the kingdoms or when the Northmen were not invading her kingdom. She's managed to keep her people safe because she has prophetic visions, so she can kind of always see when armies are coming and has saved them. But she starts to get concerned when a crow keeps showing up and showing her visions of a darker evil that is coming their way, and everyone is just kind of like blowing her off. Why? I don't know. Hello, she's psychic, believe her when she tells you something's coming. But she ends up somehow crossing paths with a guy from a rival kingdom, the Northmen, and finds out that he has the same visions that she does. So it seems like they kind of need to band together and prepare for this darker evil to come, whether their kingdoms listen to them or not. This is like so my type of fantasy where it's going to be a really dark evil fantasy. It's not going to be like fluffy knights and castles. I think this one's going to be pretty dark and I'm so ready for it. And the last book that I want to talk about just came onto my radar just at the book festival that I was at, and that is called The Window by Amelia Brunskill. This comes out on April 3rd and I hadn't heard of it at all, but I believe the author of One of Us is Lying, I think, definitely recommended it to us as like a thriller mystery read, and it sounds so good. So this is following identical twins who are polar opposites from each other. One is super introverted, the other is super outgoing, when one of them falls to her death out of a window while she was sneaking out of the house. So this leads Anna, the remaining twin, to kind of go through and find out what happened to her because things start to not add up. Like, she didn't know where she was going, why she was going out the window, was it really an accident? And it sounds like it's gonna take like kind of an emotional, heart-wrenching contemporary and take it down a really dark, mysterious path, and I'm pretty excited for it. I believe it's an Australian author, and this is one of those books that we were told to look out for, that it's gonna be a hard hitter and it's gonna be really, really good. So that sounds awesome. This sounds like a book that I kind of want to know just that vague plot synopsis and then go in blind, experience a crazy thrill ride that it's proving to be. And I'm so excited. I also love stories about twins. I don't know what it is, but I just love stories that involve twins for some reason, so that's got that going for it. So April 3rd, this one's coming real soon. Definitely keep your eye out because I think I'm gonna get my hands on it and probably review it for you guys because I'm very intrigued by it. So those are all the books that I wanted to talk about. I know, they're pretty dark. I didn't really talk about like any light and fluffy books this month, but apparently I'm not in a light and fluffy mood, which is fine. So what books are you guys looking forward to the most in the month of April? Those are my choices. What about you guys? Are there any that I'm missing? What about the sequels? What sequels are you excited about? Leave it down in the comments. Hit the subscribe button if you would like to see more videos like this, and I will see you guys in my next video.